So just make sure you group up this time. Don't try and overcommit to a split push on the Lulu, even though you have the TP advantage. So, but SaSin will at least have that exhaust in the late game should the Corki, or the Graves rather, or the Sivir get too close to him.
Imagine instead of having a reload mechanic, you actually had to purchase. You got a champion that passively gets increased amounts of gold compared to any other champion, but they have to purchase their own ammo for their
Buy
basic
ammo.
attacks.
That would be interesting. Would make recall timings particularly difficult, probably.
That 6% stat from the first dragon's not going to net you a whole lot.
Everybody coming down actually to try and contest this dragon. There's the Frost Queen's claim to be
TV's
slowing
coming
up.
in. The dragon's going to go down, so that is a second for SBENU. Glacial Fisher to try to keep them separated. Secret having to jump away. Snowflower taking a lot of damage. And that is just going to be straight into the back line here. The rest of the team, they have to flash away. Soul trying to get out, uses the dredge line, trying to close some distance, but flash forward by Snowflower with a pillar to slow him up. Secret still so low. Can they get the chase? First blood. Going to go over to Lira as they finish off Soul. Oh, on the hunt, getting popped as they try to go over onto Secret. On the run, they slow him out with a pillar. SaSin here to try to back him up as he leaps away. Snowflower takes a lot of damage. Looks like that might just be the disengage. Lyra is still playing really far up. Trying to chunk down that Corki as best as they can.
Few auto attacks actually find their mark.
Yep. Well, it looks like might be able to get a little bit more. No, dredge line goes in, not going to find anybody, just the minion. Soul takes a lot of damage. Nice 3-man knockup, 4-man knockup actually from the Glacial Fisher. ikssu taking a ton of damage, has to flash away. Almost goes down. The Ignite not
burning.
Not quite going to do it.
That is going to set us up for not very many ultimates being available for this
They're getting locked down. The Cocoon connects. Secret goes forward with the Unbreakable up. ikssu's there to take up the brunt of this damage. Dredge line only going to find the trophy though. Doesn't find him, and Sangyoon making
He got the turret finally.
Yep, it goes down. So Sangyoon making good of this distraction. It will be a third dragon though going over to SBENU.
Wow, that is... I mean, AFREECA was just not set up for that whatsoever. And remember, they didn't have a lot of their key ultimates.
Out more than likely in June.
Oh.
On the hunt getting popped though, I'm going to hold that thought. Pillar comes down as he tries to stun him out. Snowflower eating that cocoon and a bunch of damage to go with it. ikssu TPing in.
Wow, they just walked into that culling.
Yeah, dragon spawning now in 20 seconds. SBENU looking pretty healthy. Mickey has to flash away and use the wild growth to keep himself alive. No TP, cannot rejoin the team if he backs. Comes back around the other side though. ikssu taking up in the front line. Secret has to flash. Soul still very tanky as well. Grabs the dredge line onto Lira, who takes a bunch of damage. Lira goes in, locks down Flawless. They get the kill. There goes the smite. SaSin flashes away, barely stays alive, but Soul goes down as well. And AFREECA now with the 2-0.
Trying to delay them as long as possible. Maybe thinking about a Baron right here. That's the fight they wanted around this dragon.
They're just going to have Nuclear go over and solo the dragon and try to keep the 5th dragon hopes alive, but they're trading it for a Baron for that fight. Not ikssu. ikssu used his to come back to this bot side, and AFREECA took their first dragon on top of the Baron, so denying the 5th dragon would come in for at least until about 43 minutes.
You have the pillar in the choke point. You can walk away from the culling and can maintain your position in the river.
Yep. Oh, Mickey getting grabbed up. The dredge line comes through, has to use the wild growth, but Secret coming around the sidelines. Throws out the Glacial Fisher, pops him up, and he goes down. Soul getting the kill, and that's one less Baron buff to deal with. Mickey, what are you doing?
Yeah, they're going to try and engage right here.
That's a good point. Yeah, this is going to be the TP on the backside from ikssu. They haven't seen him quite just yet. Who's he going to root? It's going to be Soul, just going for the front line. He QSS's off that route, but he's getting popped up in the air. Looks like he might go down, and he does. Mickey able to finish him off. SaSin getting rooted underneath of the tower. Looks like they're going to be able to melt him out. Sangyoon barely staying alive. He will get the kill. Now Secret going deep does kill the Sivir, but he's going to die for it himself. Meanwhile, it's just Nuclear and Flawless who barely gets out with double-digit HP. See Sangyoon just now starting it up, 3-level advantage, gets a cocoon onto Mickey.
Has to be careful of Nuclear.
Yeah, wild growth comes through, repels back in. The TP's coming out as
Trundle
well
coming
from Soul. They should be able to confirm this dragon.
Oh, it reset just a little bit, didn't lose or didn't regain too much HP. Trundle's still here.
Snowflower coming around the side, but you're not going to be able to take this away because the smite is there. So they will get their 4th dragon. Baron over to AFREECA Freeks.
Trundle ulted.
Yeah, the depth charge comes in, pops up Mickey, still hot on the chase, throws out the spooky, goes to slow up Soul. Already used the dredge line. He's getting locked up, repelled from Flawless, trying to get away. And it looks like Soul is just going to sack himself for the betterment of his team.
Oh, man. So what happened right there is Soul came back up and he TP'd in, but he didn't have his QSS available yet. Meanwhile, Snowflower had the Trundle ult yet again, so he was able to pop it one more time.
ikssu just going straight into the backside.
There's no tank anymore, so.
On the hunt pop, he does take the cocoon. So that's just one spell that is being burned out. That's going to be the first inhibitor falling. Does AFREECA stick around or do they go for more?
Everything's up. Can dive this. There's a Sivir ult.
On the hunt, comes through the pillar to try to lock him up. Flawless going to get grabbed up here, but ikssu's just going to back off. Looks like AFREECA going to be content to go for the inhibitor. Super creeps moving up to the bot side. They could just rotate up to this top, push that wave, and bring it straight back into the base as well.
No reason to get too greedy for this turret.
It's a mortal reminder.
They're going to get too greedy for this turret.
Yep, Lira going to get grabbed up on the dredge line. The tower is going to fall. SaSin trying to layer out the damage from the sidelines, but he's going to get snatched up and rooted down. ikssu goes in, smashes him with the arcane smash, and it's actually going to be Snowflower going down first, but Lira fires back and takes out the Corki. Secret doing what he can, but Nuclear grabbed up with a twisted advance. That's going to be a big collateral damage as Lira finishes him off, and with just Secret and Soul, the tanky members of SBENU, the only ones alive, this is going to be the game here at about 42.5 minutes.
Well, they were 17k up, so they can afford to be a little bit greedy going in before the super minion waves even arrive. So much of an item advantage that it doesn't end up actually mattering, even though they play a little bit too hastily. They're still going to take the Nexus down.
Yep. And in the end, we get a 20.3 thousand gold lead in favor of AFREECA FREECS.
Well, no turrets.